Ronald Acuna Jr. made $100 million at age 21. But how did he do this? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down his swing, but I'm also going to share stories, some tips, and some drills, and answer that question at the end of this video. If you're wondering who I am, I'm former MLB player Jermaine Curtis. And with that said, let's get started. So the first thing I want you to see is his early to mid leg kick. As you can see, he's so early that it allows him to be on time for the fastball. This is also how he does so much damage at the plate. And we're going to talk more about that later. But being early has been something that has been always taught. And it's funny because even at the professional level, they still say these things. In fact, the Astros organization, the entire organization, they tell their hitters to be ready for a fastball that is right down the middle. And the way they do that is that they crank up a pitching machine and then they force guys to hit off the pitching machine at a high velocity. Now this does a lot of good things for a hitter. It allows you to get ready for velocity. At the highest level, they're throwing 95 miles per hour plus. If you can be consistent off a pitching machine, you're going to be consistent off a pitcher. The other thing that it does is that it gets you ready to hit that mistake. And at the big league level, at the professional level, you have to get pitchers to bring the ball into the zone. And when you do that and you're ready to hit, there's going to be a lot of loud noises made. And this is something I can't stress enough. When I talk to young hitters, I tell them, hey, if you want to play at the MLB level, if you want to play at the college level, there's two things that you need to do. The first thing is you need to be able to hit a fastball at any given speed. It doesn't matter who's throwing, you need to be able to hit that fastball. And the second thing is you need to hit a hanging off speed pitch. Now, if a pitcher has a wipeout curveball, a wipeout slider, a wipeout changeup, you're not going to hit it. It's just the truth. Your best bet is to take those pitches and hope that you can get that fastball that you can hit. But if it's a hanging off speed pitch, you need to hammer it. And the way you do that is being early. Just like you see with Ronald Acuna Jr. with his mid-leg kick and how early he is when he gets ready to hit. Now, the next thing you will see is how he strides away from his bat to armbar position. Since he's so early with his leg kick, it's almost like he is ready to attack the baseball. As you can see right here, it's like he's gliding towards the baseball. All the best hitters do this. They are in attack mode rather than being on defense. And what I mean specifically is that the front foot starts sliding towards the pitcher early. For example, look at Sadahara O. Notice how it seems like he's attacking the baseball. Now, let's look at Babe Ruth. Notice the same thing. When I look at all of them, including Ronald Acuna Jr., I see the same intent. They all want to do damage. This brings me to my next point. The mental game is very important to being successful. And if we look at Ronald Acuna Jr., he has swag, he has confidence, he believes in himself. And this is very important if you want to have high level success. And if you've been following my channel, I always talk about the mental game because the mental game is super important to being successful as a baseball player, because you cannot outperform your self-image. And I say this again, you cannot outperform your self-image. So if you believe that you are here, there's no way you can get here. But if you believe you're here, then you can get up there. And if we look at Ronald Acuna Jr., he believes he's up there. He believes he's one of the best players, and this is why he gets such high level results. Now, I'm not a big fan of the arm bar. Having an arm bar can cause a lot of issues in your swing. It can create lack of power, consistency, and just a lot of different problems. And I know what you're saying right now.
But Jermaine Curtis, Ronald Acuna Jr. doesn't have any of those issues.
It's because he has exceptional hand-eye coordination and a swing that he can reproduce over and over. And we're going to talk more about that later. But let's go back to the hand-eye coordination. When he swings at a ball inside the zone, he hits it 78% of the time. This is really good and brings me to my next point. To be a successful hitter, you don't have to have everything perfect. You need to be efficient in some areas and you need to be above average in other areas. Every player that you admire has flaws in their swing. And don't let these hitting gurus fool you. They have flaws. It's just that the players have figured out how to get around those flaws, those issues in their swing. So you can be successful, just like Ronald Acuna Jr. doing the arm bar, but he's good at other categories, which makes him a really, really elite player. Now, before we move on, I do want to give you a drill that helps with creating that separation like Ronald Acuna Jr. Here's the drill. So the drill I have for you to create direction towards the pitcher and to create separation in your load and stride is the Griffey Jr drill. Do you remember how Griffey moved forward directly towards the pitcher when he was going to swing? Look, did you see that? Did you see how he moved directly towards the pitcher? Do you see the separation? The rubber band effect? Well, you're going to learn to do the same with your body. So, to perform the Griffey Jr drill, set the tee up where when you hit it, it would be a line drive up the middle. You're going to start with your feet close together and then stride towards the pitcher. Move everything forward to the pitcher and focus on your hands getting back to create that rubber band effect. You want to feel your front foot going towards the pitcher and your hands going the other way. You also will feel your back quad being activated, which means you are storing energy into that leg, and when you release it into the ball, it will jump off the barrel. When you get into that fire position, let it eat. Don't hold back. Keep working on your craft. And as you start getting comfortable off the tee, try doing it off front toss and then during BP. I really like this drill because you get to focus on creating separation in your load and lower half, which will create that rubber band effect. When you create that rubber band effect, this will allow you to get more into the ball, which will increase your extra base hits. I also really like this because it teaches your body to go directly towards the pitcher. So if your front side is bailing out, you are pulling off or having trouble staying on your backside, give this drill a try. This drill could be the fix you need. Now, the next thing you will see after armbar is how he gets connected to his backside. And then his back gets parallel to the ground as he gets into that power V. A lot of coaches tell hitters to swing down. And I'll be one to say, I'll say that to a hitter too, especially if he's dropping his back shoulder or he's not using his top hand correctly. But the best hitters never swing down. What they do is similar to what Ronald Acuna Jr. does, and they get on plane and the point of contact is either at front foot or a little out front of their front foot. In fact, let's look at his spray chart. Notice that most of his balls are hit up the middle and or pull side. Now, I don't think he's really trying to do this because it's really not easy to do. But I do believe that since he gets ready early, this is a byproduct of doing that. So you can say it pays to be very early and have exceptional hand-eye coordination. In fact, $100 million to be exact. That's so much money. Now, let's jump into his hitting approach. After digging into his data, Ronald Acuna Jr. hunts the fastball and doesn't miss the mistake. He crushes fastballs in the middle to the top of the zone. This is because, again, he is ready to hit. So to sum up Ronald Acuna Jr., he has a very simple and repeatable swing with exceptional hand-eye coordination. There's no extra hand movement to create power. There's no high leg kick. It's a swing that allows him to be early on fastballs and hit them at his pull side nearly 48% of the time and 32% of the time up the middle at a 30% line drive rate and a 30% fly ball rate. This results to becoming a superstar and making $100 million before the age of 25 years old. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Ronald Acuna Jr.'s swing? Comment below. And if you enjoyed this, you'll love this video right here, which talks about Barry Bonds' swing breakdown. I love this video. It was life-changing for me from everything that he taught me, and it's going to help you too. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.